Yo, what is up, guys? Delboy here, aka Blue Collar Sports TV. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. If you're new here, smash that like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. So, Lyndon defeats Dec Spelman by a 12-round unanimous decision to retain his Commonwealth Light Heavyweight title, and by winning this fight, he has potentially set himself up for a fight with Anthony Yarde. That would obviously be very interesting, but as for this fight against Dec Spelman, first and foremost, I'd like to say Dec Spelman, tough dude, really durable, good chin, kept on coming, showed a ton of heart in this fight, but ultimately he was on the end of a fair beating, to be honest. In the early rounds, Lyndon was kind of trying to dictate range behind that jab and that straight right hand, and he was doing a pretty good job of doing it. Dec Spelman was coming in, he was applying pressure, but he wasn't that quick closing the gap. He wasn't coming in with a jab, and he wasn't moving his head, and basically he was a sitting duck for Lyndon straight punches, and that was apparent in the very first and second round of this fight. Those first two rounds really set the pace for the rest of this fight. It showed how this fight was going to play out, and from round one you really knew where this was going. After the second round, Lyndon was still boxing quite well behind that jab, but he was starting to mix it up a little more. He would dig downstairs with a left hook to the body, also a right hook to the body. He was also incorporating some nice right uppercuts through the middle, which Dec Spelman was walking right into. And yeah, as this fight went on, Lyndon just got a bit more adventurous with his offense. He was still moving, keeping distance, but he was switch hitting, he was going to the body, he was landing uppercuts, 2-3 punch combinations, getting out. He was just getting more confident as this fight went on. I think he realised that Dec Spelman was very basic, and he really didn't have much to trouble him, to be honest. Dec Spelman, he was a good, honest game fighter. He tried his best. He landed a couple of good body shots here and there, a few clubbing shots over the top, but nothing of any real quality, Like I say, the pressure just really wasn't enough. Not enough head movement, his feet were too slow, and just his punch quality in general really wasn't up to scratch, to be honest. And, the golfing class was really apparent in this fight. Lyndon of course, was a pretty good amateur, and also he actually fought in the World Series of Boxing, and you could tell the gap in the experience between these two fighters. You really could. You could tell the gap in quality, and it really showed. Lyndon in my opinion, put on a pretty good show, to be honest. That jab in particular was the highlight for me. I lost count on how many times you would see Dec Spelman's head get snapped back brutally with that Lyndon jab. He bust up Arthur's nose. It looked broken to me, blood pouring down. He busted up his eyes, swelling over the eyes with that jab. That jab was really his bread and butter in this fight, and he basically worked off that jab. Everything he did, in this fight was worked off that jab. So a good technical display from Lyndon at Commonwealth level. Obviously, it remains to be seen how far he can take that style, what level he can get to. But Lyndon is certainly a capable boxer with a decent amateur pedigree. Now, they're talking about Anthony Yarde as his next fight. I think that's a really good clash, to be honest. Interesting clash of styles. Anthony Yarde is, I would say, like a counter puncher almost. Hard puncher who likes to counter. Whereas Lyndon is certainly more of a back foot fighter. But Lyndon has respectable pop in his punches. So that's a pretty good style matchup. I would favour Anthony Yarde, to be honest. I just feel he's a little more dynamic. I feel there's more of an X factor there in terms of like that power and that explosiveness. Lyndon does kind of switch off at times, and against someone like Anthony Yarde, that could be his undoing. But in my opinion, that's a really good fight. To be honest, that's the sort of fight Anthony Yarde should have been having before he fought the likes of Sergey Kovalev. But there we go. We're getting it now. Well, apparently we're going to get it next. Hopefully we do, because it's an interesting domestic fight. Anyway, share your thoughts below. I thought this was a pretty good performance from Lyndon all in all. Yeah, he ticked all the boxes really, did what he needed to do. The only thing further really would have been to get the stoppage, but like I say, Dec Spelman had a really good chin, so fair play to him. But share your thoughts below. Peace.